we're starting now with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze with Newbie. Thank you to everybody that's help out with the event. I'm gonna be going back and forth because I have the FGC in the other room, but you guys are in great hands. You got the Master over there, and you have Proto over here, and Danger Man somewhere. I don't know where he is, but oh, here. Okay, so you guys are all in good hands. Yeah, so I'm gonna give the mic to Andrew, and then he's gonna start his run. Thank you.
Yes! So I gotta hit this button when we start. I'll wait for the layout. There we go. Okay, cool.
There we go.
All right, so when I hit this button, it's gonna work.
Yes.
Should we test it first before we start?
We tested it. Enter button.
You have tested it?
We have tested it.
Wow, can we not get the crotch cam going? Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good sign.
Do I test this or do I just hit it? Test it? This is a test. All right, that's great.
Hit again to stop.
Okay.
First try.
Okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna stop it when I tell you to stop.
Okay, easy.
Okay.
All you have to do is like this.
Hey, you don't have to hit it hard, you have to squish it.
You have to squish it. Okay.
Yeah, about
It's a squishy button.
the length that it depresses.
All right. It's all about length. It's not about power. Got it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's what I remember them teaching me in school.
Me too. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So you're gonna squish it when I say, because I don't want to squish the thing. Oh yeah, I should do that, eh?
Hit that button. It's right over there.
I will later.
That corner.
Make sure you bop that host button. Twitch.tv/gamesfinished. Yeah, that's right. We have a microphone back here too.
All right, are we ready to go? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Starting off the marathon. Tropical Freeze, this game just came out for Switch like 2 weeks ago. It's been out for Wii U for multiple years, and I've been running it on Wii U for a long time. They added Funky now, which is basically easy mode. I mean, he has like 5 hearts, he has all the abilities of the other Kongs, so he does a lot of crazy stuff, and he infinite rolls, and it's great. So the category I'm doing is Funky mode. So in Funky mode, basically you can play as Funky, but you can also switch to the original Kongs and play with DK and Diddy and all those guys. And it's really easy to switch. You just switch in the menu on the map screen. So I'm actually going to do that a little bit because there are some instances where the other Kongs are faster. Wow, I hit the wall. So what you'll notice about Funky is that he has a double jump, which is great. The double jump goes just as high as like Cranky's Pogo. It goes just as high as all the max height you can get out of this game. It also gives you a lot of distance, more distance actually than anyone else. So there's a few new skips and a few new gaps we can cross and stuff like that with Funky. And the great thing is we can't ever lose those abilities. So with the original Kongs, you only get 2 extra hearts with Cranky or Diddy or Dixie to go along with DK. And if you lose them, you're basically stuck with crappy solo DK, who's really bad. So we try not to do that. So in a sense, yeah, Funky is like easy mode basically. So the point of the run is essentially get from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen in every level. We don't do every level, obviously. There are a bunch of like secret exits and other routes we can skip and do a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, that's Tropical Freeze. It's not too complex. Notably, when it was out for Wii U, it was considered a pretty challenging platformer. I agree, it was pretty tough. So I think it deterred a lot of people from running it, and it stopped a lot of people from even buying it. So they did this re-release for Switch, and they threw in Funky for easy mode. And the great thing is the load times are so fast now. So we even save time just on that, which is nice. So that's a good bonus. Yeah, Funky is pretty fast in almost every world, except World 4. Now, World 4 is the water world, and the only thing Funky doesn't have that the other ones did, that Diddy has actually, is his jetpack underwater, which makes Diddy go really fast in the water. That's the only good thing Diddy's useful for, but it's pretty good. So we're actually going to switch coming up into World 4 back to Donkey Kong, and then use Diddy. And you'll see Cranky as well, like the Pogos, which are awesome. Okay, whatever. So, swimming with Funky is just as fast as any other Kong. except Diddy. So unfortunately, we have to suffer with the swimming with Funky, which is not as exciting.
Do you switch to Diddy for a lot of the water levels, or do you just
Yeah,
stay with
so
Funky for most of it?
World 4 is pretty much all water levels, and we switch to Diddy for that whole world.
Gotta get that Diddy love.
Yeah. So we will switch, and you'll see like we use all the different Kongs in World 4 actually for a bunch of different levels, and it's pretty cool. It ends up being like multiple minutes faster to use to go back and use Diddy for World 4. But for the purpose of this run, I'm going to use Funky for every other world, even though it's technically like a few seconds faster to use Funky for World 1, and then 2, 3, and 4 full on using DK and all the other partners and Cranky, and then switching back to Funky for 5 and 6. But for the marathon, I'm going to do Funky for most of it because he's new. I want to see the new stuff. So the double jump's pretty useful. We can like skip a lot of stuff here. The other thing is the climbing is a little bit slower as Funky. Cranky was very fast at climbing with the pogo. You can get max height really fast and immediately get max height again for the next platform up. So with Funky, you have to waste some time double jumping. It's a little bit slower, but it's not too bad. Another thing is he can bop on enemies that are spiked, which is nice. So just like Cranky, you can just bop off spiked enemies. Cranky could also pogo on actual spikes on the ground, which is good because those just normally deal damage to you. But there is a problem with Funky, where he can also go on spikes, but he doesn't end up bouncing off them. He actually slows down, and you basically get stuck to the spikes, and you can't move. You have to like jump really slowly out. So we try to avoid spikes at all costs with Funky because they're basically like just the end of the run. You get stuck and you can't move, and it sucks. So we route it to kind of get the spikes out of there and double jump properly around things. So a lot of levels we had to reroute from the original version. Okay, we're getting to our first auto scroller here. Minecart level, back for the original DKC games. Auto scrollers are fun. They actually added another easy mode feature in this game. If you die 8 times in a level, it'll let you skip the level. Which is obviously whatever, you know.
Is that allowed in the speedrun? Like,
So
are
we
you allowed
have a
to-
category where you do abuse it. It is technically the fastest category in the game. Because there are like 6 or 7 levels where we can die right at the beginning really quickly
Yeah,
and skip
that's
it.
what I would think.
Yeah, there are a few levels. I'm not doing it today because it's not fun to watch. But it's not bad. It ends up being, I think, 3 or 4 minutes faster in the end. So it is technically the fastest 80% category. But this is the second fastest category, which is just no death abuse basically. Same route. I'm just playing the levels out. So yeah, that is also a category that some people do. I ended up routing it after the first week, and then I was like, okay, that was fun to route it. Now I just want to play the game like normally.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little tricks you can do in these auto scrollers to speed up a little bit. All the slopes you see going up and down, if you jump up or down them, it actually is a little bit faster than riding them out. Not much faster, but there's really no reason not to do it. So I gain a little bit of time off just jumping down these slopes here. There was one earlier you saw where I jumped and I leaped down the whole thing, and that saves like a good second. So I'll take a second where I get a second. You also get an extra heart in the minecarts, and there's not really anywhere where it's useful, at least in the speedrun. But it's a little safer and it's a little easier. So yeah, in general, it's just easy mode. I think because GameSpot gave this game a bad review on Wii U because they said it was too hard. So they're like, uh-oh, we better make sure people want to play this game. All right. So that was the first auto scroll. It's not even that bad. Like, it's just like a minute and a bit. You just got to go through it. So we're getting up to the first boss now. All the bosses in the game have like the same cycle basically. 3 different phases, 3 hits per phase, and then you move on. So there's a bunch of little tricks we do to optimize getting to the next hit. They all have different cycles and different different attacks and stuff like that. Hey, Funky's so cool. All right.
Funky is so cool.
So we're bobbing his back here. Here, he throws a bunch of crap at us, and what we want to do is end this cycle as fast as possible. So by bopping, oh okay, I missed it. I was trying to bop that fish way up high, because as soon as you can like clear the enemies off screen, he comes up and does his next animation. So you want to like speed this process along as much as possible. I'll do it again, so I'll try it this time. It was a lot easier with Cranky, but the setup kind of works with Funky similarly. There we go. So that worked out. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's little things like this you want to like, you know, optimize, progressing these phases as fast as possible. Now he's angrier, of course. I can't hit him here. I have to wait a second. Okay, shooting some enemies. There's no way to make this go faster because he's going to end up coming up from the back. I have to take a hit intentionally. This way I can get through him and actually deal a hit as soon as he lands on the ground. And he usually drops a heart anyway, so it doesn't mean anything. It used to matter a lot. Back in the original mode, you have 2 hearts as DK and only 2 hearts as Cranky. So if you lose those 2 hearts, you lose your partner and you can't do a lot of stuff. So this made it much easier and a lot less stressful. It also means a lot more people started running this game, which is great. More people, the better. Clear these guys off screen, because they will loop around the whole thing. Alright, so this I haven't figured out. It used to be a great strat with Cranky to bop this fish right at the top of the screen. But I haven't quite figured it out yet, so I'm just waiting. Take a hit, just to try and bop him there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the first boss. Give him a slap, and that's it. World 1 done. Sub 10. So nice. Yeah, the loads are so bad on the Wii U that finishing like a sub 11 World 1 was pretty good. So it's really nice that we've shaved a couple minutes off having done no work at all. So. It's great. It's just the fastest version now, which is good.
Free time save is free time save.
It's just free time, might as well. Free time. So in the next couple levels, Cranky is actually faster by a little bit in 2-1 and or in 2-2 at least, right after this. But in 2-1, there is one jump that I can do as Funky that Cranky cannot, so I will save a little bit of time on that.
So, what's the lore of this game? Like, what's the... Forgive me if there's something important to say.
The lore. So, the lore of this game... Whoops. Thank you. Oh, okay, hold on. I can't take it yet. There's pits now in World 2, so I have to watch out. There's ways to die now. So the lore in this game is Donkey Kong's island gets invaded by immigrants, and he needs to take it back and make DK Island great again.
Dang. All right.
That's not my words, but that's essentially the story. These guys take over DK Island, and DK gets shot all the way to this like other island. You have to travel island to island and eventually get back to your home. All right, here's the long jump that Cranky can't do.
I, for one, am fully in favor of the Kongs decolonizing their island. That's some good stuff.
Exactly. There you go. The DK Island has his face on it. Well, he doesn't like DKC1, so that's good. So yeah, essentially you get back to DK Island, they froze the whole island over, and you gotta smash your way through and then beat things up, like DK should. So yeah, not too complicated. It's a Nintendo storyline, so that's what you get.
Good guy, bad guy, punch bad guy.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you want this banana? We've got a
sure. Yeah. The loads aren't even that long, so I don't really have time anymore. With the Wii U version, I could have eaten like 4 of those by the time I got to 2 too. So, but I can't. Oh, and the animal buddies are back from the original game too. Well, not all of them, just one, Rambi. Yeah. Yeah.
Banana splits, dude.
Bananas. Oh my god. Oh. All right, I'm out. See you guys.
I'll take my ban now.
Yeah. So Rambi's cool. He runs through everything, which is nice. There's one kind of problem with Rambi in that as you jump and land, every time you land and have to start running again, it actually costs 1/4 of a second, which adds up quite a bit. It doesn't look like it, but it does. So part of what we try to do is avoid rolling as much as possible. When you roll normally, like have to land like this, it costs like 1/10 of a second. So we kind of like bop on enemies and use a route that kind of bounces on other guys, or just keep running to maximize time. So there's also some momentum in this level. Those swinging platforms give us some forward momentum, so we're gonna use a little bit of it just to go a little faster here. I missed the enemy. Oh my god, don't die. Okay, I died. We'll try it again though. We'll try and get some momentum this time. I got a little bit, but if you bop on the enemy, you actually store that momentum and can keep going a little farther.
I know the first game I ever tried to speedrun was Super Metroid, which was an experience in and of itself.
That sounds like an
But
experience.
a lot of that game is like trying to find ways to keep momentum, because it's similar in how you can sort of keep momentum as long as you keep bouncing through the air, but if you land, you lose it.
Right, exactly, yeah. Same idea here. And with Cranky's pogo, you could actually keep it just by pogoing. So as long as you had ground to land on, you could keep momentum for so long. There's some. Alright, that's about as much as you can get with Funky, but with a double jump in there. With Cranky, you can pogo through all of this and up here. But at least Rambi gets a double jump now with Funky, which is kind of nice. So you can do some neat stuff. And yeah, he just plows through all this stuff, which is good. Which is the reason we have Rambi. Doing this with just a Kong is a little bit awkward, because you have to jump on the platforms.
Jumping. Who even wants that?
Who jumps? What the heck? Alright. And then Rambi's gone forever, so no one knows where he went.
I mean, better than like Yoshi kicking him into a pit, right? Like,
Yeah, well, we can do that too later. In World 8. Or World 6, we'll see. Alright, so this level is pretty interesting. It's actually based on universal cycles. So as soon as the level starts, all the stuff in the level starts going off. So depending on what time you get there, like how quick or how slow you get there, everything will be at different cycles. Like the leaves will be in different places and the horns will be like blasting at different times. So the idea is to kind of just do it as fast as possible so that at least you know what's going on. So if I slow down for any reason, it's going to change like all the cycles. And I'm going to have to adapt.
just play fast and never make any mistakes.
Right. Uh-oh. I slow down slightly. That should be okay. Uh-oh. Alright. So we're gonna have to improv here and see what happens. It should be okay. There's not too much after this. All these horn cycles are different. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are happening here. Alright, we're okay. Okay, we're good. Yep, still good. Alright, that wasn't too bad. It worked out. It's really easy to die there if you if you're on the wrong cycle.
I was like, it looked real close in a couple spots.
There's some leaves that are awkward and some enemies that are moved around. Die. Okay. So we're gonna try and time this so we get maximum height here. As soon as the wind starts. That gives us enough height to reach this right away. Alright, perfect. Yeah, normally you have to wait there. If you don't go right in that time, you can't actually reach those two grassy vines at the very end. But you have just enough height if you go early enough. Alright, our second minecart level. Actually, this is our last minecart level. There are other auto-scrollers, but they're not minecarts. They're a lot less exciting. But they look cool, so that's fine. This is actually one of the coolest looking levels in the game, I think. For how boring it is for me. It looks neat, so... You're in like a minecart factory or something. I think it's a minecart factory. Another level.
lore.
What's that?
The
The
lore.
lore. There's so much lore in this game. It's crazy.
Anyway, it sounded like you had something important to say.
What's that?
It sounded like you had something important to say.
I was gonna say something probably not important, but
Oh, okay.
I remember. This is another level that we death abuse usually to skip. There's a pit right at the beginning, and it's great. You just take your 8 lives and skip the level. Death abuse on this one saves like 30, 40 seconds, I think, as opposed to doing the level. So they're pretty fast. Or even a couple levels where we get to a checkpoint and then die 8 times after the checkpoint, and it's still faster than doing the level, just because there's a pit you can fall off. Because dying through damage is really slow with Funky because he has 5 hearts. So generally that's not the way to go. You have to sit there and get poked by an enemy. Well, my minecart's gone and I have this log now. But it acts the exact same, which is awesome. Also, the music is David Wise, who comes back from the original DKC games. Throw it in the remixes. And here we're at the machine that makes a minecart. Perfect, my log turned into a cart. But the whole factory's still trying to kill me, probably. Or I am destroying it myself. I should like route getting all those puzzle pieces and stuff and getting all the cool stuff. It seems more fun than just doing the level.
Gives you something to do.
Gives you something to do, yeah. But again, hopping up and down slopes optimizes like frames, so I've just got in the habit of doing that for like no reason. It means virtually nothing in an hour-and-a-half speedrun, so I don't know why.
Hey, every frame counts.
Every frame counts, yeah.
If you can save 60 frames throughout the course of your whole run, that's one whole second.
That's a whole second. That's insane. That's the difference between like 7th and 8th place on the leaderboard. Alright, so we're done with that auto-scroller. So 2.5 is bad as Cranky, so it's actually nice to have Funky here. Funky can skip, there's large gaps in this level, so Funky's really good at skipping those, which is nice. Oh, the loads are so fast. I'm already in the level. I'm still not used to it. Jumping and rolling, skipping vines, because we don't need them. I'm going to get this vine, because I do need it. Sadly, I need to grab one vine. Unfortunately. I know. We're trying to work out a way to not have to do that. I don't really know.
Vineless wine.
Yeah. Or like maybe grabbing the first vine and doing something.
There's probably like a Rip Vine joke to be made in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Try and get this bananas early, or this barrel as early as possible. That's pretty good. Okay, so I got speed off that bounce, which is good. That happens sometimes if you press jump like at the same time as bouncing off something while you're rolling. So it's like really specific, but it's good because you keep a bunch of momentum. Normally when you bounce, like bouncing on these, you're really slow. There's no way to speed it up. So little things like that are a good way to keep your momentum. Skip the G. All right, that was super smooth. Yeah, what else can I talk about in this game? What else is cool about this game?
Does it really matter like what stuff you get out of the barrels at the end?
No, none of that matters, yeah. It's just lives. It all adds up to being lives.
Oh, okay.
You get bananas, which 100 is a life. You get a balloon, which is a life. And then you get coins, which you can spend at the shop. But there's nothing useful to buy, except when you play Death Abuse category, when lives are important. And you actually need to have, like, you have to route having enough lives to die so many times.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun to do in that category, to route that. There was even a time right at the beginning we were routing in the end barrels and trying to get like a life every time and timing it so that you get a life every time and weighing like the cost of waiting for the barrel versus saving time. It was.
Are the end barrels like globally cycled or locally cycled?
They're local cycled, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, there isn't actually.
Globally cycled is kind of like the frame roll. And
right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, they're not, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really matter. Now, when you're playing DK mode and you have to switch between Kongs, all the rotating barrels. Are globally cycled in the whole game.
Yeah.
So a lot of levels you have to, like this one for example, in regular DK mode, there's a barrel coming up later and you want to hit a cranky for sure on that. And that requires like optimal all the way up to that point. But that's an example where like this barrel right here usually would be a cranky in original mode. That's a good example of this. All the barrels are universal cycles, and that matters a lot. So there are a few levels where it does. And actually later on in the run in World 4, we're going to be doing some of that. So
what do the barrels actually do in Funky Kong mode?
they just refill your hearts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just give you full health. So nothing important, really.
Yeah. Who needs hearts?
Who needs hearts? There are times when you just... Sometimes I'm on like one heart, and I'm like, how did I get to this point where I like might die as Funky? Let's see if I can get this climb. It's a little bit tricky with Funky. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna go up here. Never been this way, but I'm doing it. Okay.
Is that the first that's never happened before?
Yeah, at least in funky mode. Oh wait, what am I doing? There we go. Alright, that worked. Yeah, so like, the problem is the jump button is the same button as the double jump button, of course. That makes a lot of sense. So unless you're actually on the platform, you will double jump again, which could be problematic. So you want to make sure you're actually on the platform before jumping. Okay, 2 boss is really interesting. I think this is one of the more interesting bosses in this game. There are ways to optimize it that I think are very purposeful in the design process of this game. So you gotta, again, 3 phases. You gotta make 3 hits per phase. And the way we make hits in this is throwing his babies at him, throwing his baby eggs.
Oh.
So he's an owl and he's got baby eggs he's gonna throw.
It's a bit morbid when you think about it.
Yeah, you know, you just accept it though. It's fine. So he's shooting some eggs here. So they all have enemies in them. Double jump gives us enough height. Alright, so if you wait too long, the enemies go away and you have to wait for him to drop more eggs. So that's the first phase. The second phase is interesting. He's going to spawn them from the right side. And because we want 3 hits, if we make a hit too early, he's going to stop spawning them. So what we want to do here is grab this owl. We're going to hold on to this guy for a little while. We're not going to throw right away. Lock down the second owl, and then let him spawn the third owl. Give him the hit. Grab this second one. And now we have the third owl. So normally, if we were to hit him too early, he wouldn't spawn that third owl. So we'd have to wait another cycle.
Those double jumps, it looks like it just barely catches it.
It does, yeah, it does. But it does every time, so I'm not worried.
Every time.
I just accept it every time. I mean, I hope it's every time. The game's only been out 2 weeks with Funky, so. Yeah, so a lot of little things like that they added in, I think are all on purpose to make you be able to speed it up a lot.
Like, just seeing the movement in this game, like, it's absolutely crazy. I gotta think the developers must have considered speedruns.
I think so. I mean, there's a time attack mode in the game for every level, and all the leaderboards are up in-game, and you can watch the replays in-game. So they obviously put some thought into it.
That's
you know,
really
like,
nice.
Yeah, that was terrible. Alright, so that's going to cost me a lot of time. No, I was dumb. That's not even every time. That's just me being bad. So I have to make one more hit now, and I have to wait another phase. So you see how long it takes. Normally after this phase, I'd be able to get him. I'd be holding that baby owl the whole time. Hello? There we go. Okay, sure. Yeah, so I'm supposed to hold that owl all the way up to here and then just throw it at him here. So now I'm wasting... We'll see how much time. I think it's like 45 seconds probably. Which negates all the time I saved on pogos or rolling instead of jumping. All my frames. I just gotta do this again. Yeah, there's not much to do here. You just have to kind of hang out, wait for owls to come down.
How's your day been?
Not bad. Not bad. Slept in.
Nice, nice.
Yep. Alright. Pick him up. Alright, there we go. We did it. We threw it out. That wasn't too bad. The phase is only like 45 seconds. Alright, going into World 3. It's another world where optimally, I think it's like 3 or 4 seconds faster to have the original Kongs. It's also much harder, and there's a trick that takes a lot of work that I have not put in. So I won't be doing it. I'll be doing Funky because Funky's cool, and Funky's new.
He's got sunglasses, dude.
Yeah.
So right.
How can you argue with him? Don't worry. By the end of the world, we're actually going to be switching out of Funky Kong before we even leave this world. So if you're sick of him already, don't worry. He's out. So 3-1 is a level that's also universal cycles. Everything's global cycle here. So there's really only so fast you can do it. Like, you can chill and hang out for like 2 seconds and it doesn't mean anything, which is nice. There's also the Lion King level. Or I guess now the Black Panther level, maybe? Do a reference for the kids these days.
Do kids these days still watch The Lion King?
I hope so. So we're actually going to wait purposely there. So that this bird doesn't move. And we can bounce on him. Yeah, because again, it doesn't cost any time. You'll see right up here after this first cycle, we're going to catch that giraffe way in the background there. He's going to come right on time. And there he is, right when we need him. Every cycle you miss there is 7 seconds, so you don't want to miss any of those. And the last cycle coming up is like snakes are moving, and it's all wacky, but the only way you can get to the higher platform at the end is if the snake is up there, so you have to wait for him anyway. So as long as we go at regular speed and don't die, we should make the cycle. This level's so much fun.
Is that a banana wearing sunglasses?
That's possible. Yeah. So this snake anyway, we have to wait. Here we go. Whoa, that's not what I wanted.
We got it. We got it.
We got there. So it wasn't actually the fastest. There's a way to get in the barrel a little bit faster. It's kind of tricky the timing to jump off the snake. Sometimes you just get plopped on top of the snake and it sucks. But we're good. We're good. Yeah, a lot of the platforming is just, it's really smooth at this point. They made it purposely very smooth. Like you can kind of just go through the level if you know what you're doing, which is really nice. There are very few points where you have to just dead stop or like do something completely weird or different, which is just good level design, I think. Whoops. Sometimes that happens where you stop moving. Not sure what that's all about. Alright. I got the go. So this we can get with Funky pretty quick now. Getting up on that high flower. Which you couldn't do with Cranky. You just didn't have the distance to do it. Get the barrel for no reason. You can. I usually get it in case I've taken a hit somewhere. Not that that'll even matter much, but... So this section you can't speed up. And this giant baobab fruit behind me, if I touch it, it's insta-kill. So I just have to not touch it. Literally the only goal of this part is not to let that thing touch you. Now you just wait until it comes and breaks the wall for you. Funky's got some neat surfboard moves. Alright, pretty smooth. So the level coming up is a level with that crazy trick I was just talking about. There's a bunch of momentum you can gain off of these tornadoes. They're flinging you around. But it's pretty difficult to get. And with Funky, there's really no way to utilize it, so we're not even going to do it. It's a waste of time to try and set it up. But with Cranky, you could use the pogos and keep pogoing across the whole level with that speed. But the Funky route is pretty straightforward. Rambi is in this level. He's a big part of this level, and we're not going to get him. He slows us down, and we can do everything we need to do without him. Whoops. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Come on. Okay, I really don't want to land on the spikes, because again, they dead stop you, and it's very hard to get out of them. You can't roll out of them. You have to hop out of them, like, very slowly. So that's really the ultimate goal of this, as Funky. That guy's good. Refill my heart. Not that I really need it, but we'll do it anyway.
Just in case.
Just in case. Alright, double jump is good. Gets us up there. I actually died here the other day. With Rambi, you can walk, you can run over some large gaps. He'll just run right over them. So I thought I could run over this one, but apparently you can't roll as Funky, so you just fall. Learn something new all the time. That worked out. So this is crazy tornado level. Alright, that worked out well. I just screwed up the beginning, but that's fine. Tornado was flinging me around and whatnot. Okay, 3-4. 3-4 used to be a Dixie level, like hands down. But I think it's pretty apparent with Funky here that he does everything Dixie could do, but much better and faster. So Dixie could hover, but it slowed you down every time. Like, you'd get a good amount of distance and height. But Funky can just double jump and do the exact same thing without stopping. So it makes levels like this with big gaps a lot easier to deal with. Like that. You just jump right over that. Uh-oh. The noises always kill me. Even like DK's voice sounds terrible in this game.
I have all my phone notifications set to the voice lines from DK64.
Oh yeah.
That's not a meme.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. For some reason, DK and family just sound strange.
It's so good.
Oh, sometimes you can skip those fire droplets. You have no control over it though, for some reason.
Is it just RNG?
It's literally RNG, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Another actually interesting thing about this remake is all the bosses have a bunch of RNG. They still do have RNG, based on like what patterns they do. But they actually changed it now, which is great, where the patterns are all the exact same the first time you go in, and they're actually the fastest patterns we figured. Because we figured out what the fastest patterns are way back in the Wii U. And it's really nice that now they're all consistent with the fastest pattern. So I have to say, it's a pretty good change. Good improvement on this version. They did take out our glitch though. They patched it, which is horrible. But what are you gonna do? All right, so we're gonna switch here. Oh no, we're not gonna switch because I didn't change colors. We're gonna switch to the next one. Yeah, normally you could switch here. That barrel's a rotating barrel, so we grab Cranky. But I forgot to change Kongs in on the map, so I'll have to wait and remember to do it this time. So this is our rocket barrel level. It works just like Angry Birds, or not Angry Birds. What's it called? Flappy Bird? Is that the game? Where you just press the button and you go up, and you let go and you go down.
Yeah.
So it's not very exciting. But yeah, it's the easy one. What's nice is we only do half this level. There's a secret exit halfway through, and that takes us to a faster level. So it worked out really nicely. Get this puzzle piece. Why not? So I have to remember to switch Kongs, because I can't do the next level as Funky. I can, but it's horrible. There's just spikes everywhere on the ground, so we switch to Cranky, and then we pogo off everything. It's great. Also, it's nice to see some variety in the 80% run. I think it's really good that Funky's not just straight up the fastest Kong in a good chunk of levels, because I like the variety. I think it's good for a marathon run. You see other Kongs and all the different abilities of the game. You get a better showcase of what the game has to offer. So, this is our secret exit. That DK symbol just gives you a random item. Okay, so I gotta switch Kongs now. I can't forget this time.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't forget, please.
Thank you. All right, we're good. We're doing it. So it's actually a really quick switch too, which is nice. No. Okay, there we go. It would have been quick if I pressed the right button. So now I just play as solo DK, and I can pick up any Kong I want, except Funky, of course. DK can't pick up Funky.
That'd be incredible.
That'd just be wrong, I think. So we're gonna put this Cranky here. That's Dixie! What am I doing? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it again because this level sucks as Dixie. And it looks way cooler as Cranky. See, I haven't played in so long, I forgot the barrel cycles. After Diddy comes Dixie. Alright, we're gonna go back in and get Cranky this time. I think this is a perfectly valid redo. You'll see why in a second. Alright. And the load times are so fast that it beats stuff. There we go. Alright. Now we're pogoing. Yeah, we did it.
Nice barrels, nice barrels.
There we go. So yeah, the pogo is obviously really good on the spikes because you can't get stuck on them. Oh, let's not die there. Alright, cool. And everything kind of pops up in front of you. So if you don't know what you're doing, this level's stressful as hell. But I've played it before, so it's okay. I know where everything's going to be. The setup is really good, just a pogo across everything. I can also take damage here because I have extra hearts in Funky mode. They actually give you additional hearts just to keep it easy, which is good. And we need Cranky for the next boss anyway, so we're just going to keep him. Yeah, so this boss used to be a big problem because his patterns were all over the place. There were so many patterns he could give you, and there was one that was good, and the rest were pretty much all abysmal and lost you time for no reason. But luckily it was patched out, and the pattern they give you automatically is the best one, so that's fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's like they knew. It's like they watched us and said, let's fix stuff.
Friendly developers.
Yeah, except they took out our glitch, which is frustrating.
What was the glitch?
The glitch was in World 4, the longest, worst level in World 4. You could go out of bounds with Diddy, and then swim out of bounds, basically, to the end barrel. The level's a giant maze, basically. It's like a 2.5-minute long maze.
Oh, good.
And you could swim out of bounds and literally go to the last room right away. So it saved like over a minute. And then they patch it out. We can't go out of bounds now. At least we haven't figured out a way. I'm still confident there's a way to do it. I'm like, no, we gotta figure this out. This level's bad enough that we need to figure it out.
If there's a will.
There's a will, there's a way. So a bunch of the other patterns you can get are the monkeys not climbing down and you not being able to hit them like that. You just want to clear the same monkey off screen as fast as possible, basically. There we go. So now he's gonna go. We're gonna move on to the next phase right away. So yeah, the patterns they give us now are they just calm down. You can bomb right away, which is great. I'm not even doing it optimally still. There's actually a better way to do it. I don't even know it. I was just told today. Someone's like, Newbie, you can save like 5 more seconds of this. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't learned the updated stuff in a long time.
I love playing really new speed games.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, so the only way to hit him on these last hits is when he's swinging down like that, is to throw bombs at him. Throw only the green bombs work, so we have to wait for this phase to go through. Okay, they spawn his ghost on the left side, which means he's going to throw the bomb on the left side. Pretty straightforward. Let's not die.
There's chance to not die.
Not dying. Taking a hit here. Oh, I missed. Let's try to go for a Kobe dunk there. All right. So World 3, pretty good. So Cranky's good because he pogos and keeps all his speed and can bounce on top of spikes at enemies and all that stuff.
He's got a rockin' sweater vest too.
And he's got the vest, the old man vest. And the beard. He's got that nice beard. I'm working towards that beard.
See, I was never able to grow a beard that nice. I got like patchy peach fuzz. And it's just not good.
Different for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so World 4 is the water world, and Funky's slow underwater. So we're doing Diddy. Diddy goes really fast. He has a jetpack, and it also lets us control underwater swimming really well. It's some of the best underwater movement I think I've ever played with Diddy, which is fantastic. So we're gonna not get in the water yet, so we don't have to. It's faster to roll like this. And this should, we have some time to get to this cycle here. Alright. So now we got Diddy, and we're playing a lot of this with Diddy. He's got really good movement, and he's much faster. So yeah, like I said, I think the actual amount of time you save, because so much of this world is underwater, you save something in the realm of like 4 or 5 minutes by using Diddy instead of Funky. We also have an extra heart, so we can take some damage boosting that we couldn't back in the Wii U version. So we're gonna hit a couple spikes just to get through a little bit faster. This one here. Hopefully we have invincibility long enough to get past this. Yes, we do. And we're gonna get Dixie up here. And Dixie's ability underwater is not very exciting, but you can get through really strong currents. And there's a strong current like here, for example. You're able to actually swim through this. As Diddy, you can't, or any other Kong, you can't. And we are taking a secret exit in this level that requires us to get through a strong current. So we need Diddy, or we need Dixie here, really. So that was what I was trying to make that Dixie cycle, which worked really well. So it's just up here. We're going to open this gate, and we're going to go backwards. That gate also opened this gate. And Dixie gives us enough power. Funky can also do this. go through the strong currents. Because you can technically do the whole thing as Funky. The whole game. You can do Funky only and still do the same route. But again, Diddy is much faster, so we just do the old stuff. Okay, so the next level coming up is really cool. It's actually the only level in the run we use all 3 of the separate Kongs. You've got Dixie, and then we grab a Diddy barrel, hopefully quick. And then if we're fast enough, we'll be able to grab a Cranky cycle later and use him to get to the next secret exit. So it's pretty cool to watch. This one's got a lot. This level's pretty fun to do. As long as I'm fast enough to make these cycles. Get the shark. I got hit, no! Alright, everything's off now. It's okay, we're gonna wait for the... Okay, let's just go. Alright. Yeah, that's the problem with the cycles, is once everything's off, you gotta just improv or take hits. So he's Diddy because of that water section, basically. That's pretty much the only reason we need him. But it is a bit faster, technically. He's Cranky for here, and to get to the secret exit afterwards. Bounce on some stuff. Yeah, Diddy's a bit faster here, but again, we have to get to the secret exit. You'll see why. It requires a pogo and height as well. And Cranky and Dixie are actually the only ones that can do it, and Funky, but we're not talking about Funky now.
Who needs that guy?
Who needs that guy anymore? So this is set up perfectly so we can get up here, which is a nice little setup. So I almost did it optimal, except the beginning. It was good enough. It got us through. So 4B coming up is the one where we used to skip with the glitch. What you used to do is actually add a second player as a partner. And with the second player, you can detach Kongs. So you jump in the water, and at the same time as you hit the water, you detach the Kong. And if you're in the right spot, Diddy will just get pushed out of bounds. Like, the collision's just bad. So he just got pushed out of bounds right there, and then it was great. Like, right at the left side here is where we used to do it. And you go out of bounds underneath, and then go to the end of the level. But they patch it out, it looks like. They at least patched out the way we did it. So I think they just buffered their collision in general, which is frustrating, but what are you going to do? So we're going to do the level, which is getting keys and opening doors like Zelda. But we have Diddy at least, so it's a little bit faster.
This is my favorite Zelda game.
This is great. So we got the red key. That's going to open the red chest. That fish on the left. Alright, see you, Zelda. There's some little tech in this level, like going through those portals. If you like spin instead of boost, you'll end up a little bit outside the, like, you'll be ahead of the game outside of the portal a little faster. So you try and like spin through every portal so that when it unloads, you're like out of the thing already. So there's some little random like techie things here. Get this banana wheel. It's a Zelda secret. Come here. There it is. Ooh. Yeah, fancy.
This really is a Zelda game.
Yeah, this is, that's what it is.
We gotta talk about him.
Yeah. I wish they would put Link in this game. just for fun.
Linguini.
Linguini.
There should be a lanky mode. So funky mode is like easy mode. There should be a lanky mode, which is like extra hard mode.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be so good. Or he'd just be bad to control, like hard to control. That'd just be bad.
It's just like funky mode, but harder to control.
Yeah, it's not even difficult. The game's not tough. It's just you can't control it properly.
Somebody mod that in.
Yeah. All right, so we finally beat Zelda.
Wow.
That's Ganon. That's Shark. Don't worry, he's not coming. He's too scared. So yeah, in the Wii U version, this level's a minute and a half faster because you don't have to do it. So yeah, you end up coming out right at the bottom here and hit that barrel. Actually, no, you come right in that that little tunnel before because the water's pushing you. So you come out early, get pushed by the water, and then you're in. And like the screen did all sorts of tearing and weird stuff. It was really cool to watch. I did it at SGDQ last year. So it's pretty cool to watch if you want to see it done. All right, 4 or 5 is cool. There's no water. It's just tough. It's one of the harder levels, actually. I'll be getting cranky pretty early. Steal that bomb from that guy. Thank you. Open that up. That's fast enough to make this cycle, which again are all global cycles, so if you're not fast enough, you have to wait another cycle. Like, it takes 3 seconds for the barrels to rotate around back to the Kong you need. So every time you miss a barrel cycle, you're losing 3 seconds, regardless of how bad your mistake was. Well, if it's worse than 3 seconds, you're losing 6. So. There's a little trick here if I can get it. Nope, I got poked, I didn't. I'm gonna be a little careful here because there's a lot of gaps and pits. Ah. Sometimes you can shoot yourself at the diagonal and actually make that high barrel. It's a little bit harder. Did I make a Diddy cycle? Nope. It's a Dixie cycle. Alright. I'm trying to think if this is bad if I have Dixie here. I think it is. We're gonna skip this too. We don't need to break any of those boxes, you just jump under. So the last level before the boss in this world is a big water level. It's actually not a bad one though. It's a lot cooler than our 4B Keys Zelda level. There's a lot more going on. And I did actually want to grab Diddy there to start, but there's a Diddy barrel pretty soon in after the first kind of big water section, so it's not too bad. Sorry, I gotta move that. So things are a little bit slower with Dixie, but once we get Diddy, we're good. We're back on track here. So I just gotta spin as Dixie. The other little trick you can do is you can do like the breaststroke in between doing spins, and it's a little bit easier to control. You don't really lose any time either, but it's easier to control your movements like this, I find.
It's like one of those wine bottle openers.
It's like, yeah, exactly. So we can go down a little bit easier here. Getting it's not a big deal. I have so many hearts now in funky mode, it's ridiculous. It's cheating, basically. Dixie doesn't matter because we're getting Diddy anyway, right here. There he is. Okay. Alright. Now the fun begins. Try to dodge these things. Take a hit here. Get a heart. Take one more. Okay. That section went well. So here we gotta wait just for these little spinners to appear. Whoa, let's not get killed. Also, Funky doesn't have an air meter because he's just that good, but DK does. So what are you gonna do? They added a snorkel on Funky when he goes underwater.
Funky was born in the waves, dude. He doesn't need air.
It's true. The lore makes sense. That actually is a good explanation. I get my refill heart here. Normally that's on cycle if you're Diddy from the beginning, but what are you gonna do? Damage boost, all this stuff. Damage boosting, by the way, if you don't know, is just taking a hit and having invincibility to be able to go through other things after. General speedrunning term. Great mechanic in most games. Alright. And that concludes the water levels. Well, there's a boss still. So Fugu is notorious for killing my runs. For some reason, I just can't beat this guy. I don't know why. I always die to it, but we should be okay now. I have extra hearts, so we're fine.
It's funky mode.
It's funky mode.
It's easy.
Easy mode. There's a cool strat we developed back on the Wii U, where essentially you hide behind him, and you skip a bunch of his phases, which is just fantastic. So it makes it a pretty quick boss. He's like less than a minute long. Normally he does all sorts of crazy stuff and spins around the screen and everything, but you can kind of sneak back here, just give him a couple whacks. That's his only vulnerable point, is that butt side there, that soft underbelly. So as Cranky, you're able to kind of sneak in there with the cane and just whack him a bit, and it's good.
Give him the old 1-4.
The old 1-4. But if we lose Cranky, which we probably will, there's another backup with DK. That's not the backup at all. See, Fugu doesn't like me. This guy will hit him. Nope, guess not. Yo, he's tiny, let's go. Yeah, got him.
Nice.
Alright. I'm trying to figure out how to beat him here, because he's not spinning towards me now. Normally I'd hide behind him, but it's not going to work. I only have 2 hearts. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this as intended. This is really bad. Oh my, he's massive now. What's happening?
He's huge.
Holy moly, why does this always happen? Fugu.
Fugu's just a big, big jerk.
It is.
Look at how
What
big
is-
he is.
He's enormous. Like, can he just go down to normal size, please? Yeah, this is not supposed to take this long. I definitely messed this one up.
You can like kind of stay stuck behind him, and you can abuse the fact that he'll often drop hearts when you hit him.
Right.
A lot of the
Let's see if
time.
that'll happen. Look, it didn't happen. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I died to Fugu. It's okay, we're gonna try it again and not die this time. I'm actually gonna get the setup.
It was an intentional death to show off the set.
Exactly, to show off the ultra fat mode of Fugu. When he gets so big that you just can't even comprehend his size. Exactly. Thank you. Alright, let's try and get it with Funky again. Or with Cranky.
He looks so small now.
Yeah, that first few hits is just, they're awesome. They're so fast. Oh, what the heck was that?
It's okay, no one saw it, no one saw it.
It's fine. Alright. So this is the backup strat basically. Alright, so this is gonna work fine now. We're just gonna wait. He's getting angry. But you can just sit behind him. Yeah, he always drops hearts, like you said. There's like a 0.5% chance or something that he doesn't, which is the worst. But yeah, I did the regular backup strat. I did it. All right, so that's enough of Cranky. I've had enough of Cranky. I haven't really personally, but I have to give him up now for the greater good. So there's only 2 worlds left. They're a little longer, and they're definitely much harder. The difficulty scales up a lot here with World 5 and 6. But we do have Funky, so... Hey, he's back. So yeah, you can quickly switch, which is nice. And we're going to do both 5 and 6 with Funky. Because he actually is much faster in a lot of levels. There are some cool things going on in World 5 and 6. 5-1 used to be a really tough level. I think it's a lot easier now. There's a lot of pits everywhere, but with the double jump and with the 5 hearts, you're given a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room. A lot of hits are intentional anyway, like that one. Yeah, yeah. Trust me, guys. It's all intentional. You can make all these big gaps pretty quick, which is good. Yeah. I have to hang on this thing. I think there's probably a way to bounce on those 2 fruit. Probably a setup for that. Someone else figure that out.
Get on it.
You can bounce on this. Whoa, 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 whoa. You go a bit early. Take that platform. Again, the double jump is nice because you don't lose any speed doing it. Take a hit here. Or not. I was supposed to take a hit there. I feel like some cycle's gonna be off now. Not that, but something. Whoa. Okay. Alright. So I made tons of mistakes in that level, and I still beat it, so that's how easy Funky. Sorry, everything was intentional. I was supposed to do that 6 seconds slower than optimal. So there's only 2 auto-scrollers left, which is nice. This one, if you death abuse, because there's a pit right at the beginning, it saves like over a minute, because this level's so long. So unfortunately, we have to play this one.
Ugh. Who wants to play video games this
I know.
speedrun?
I feel almost like dying 8 times is more interesting to watch than this level, but maybe not. I don't know. I've seen it just so many times, so to me it is. But I know normally it's not.
It's like nice colors and fruit.
Exactly. As long as we beat this level under an hour, I'm happy. We're at 57, so we should be okay.
I thought you meant you were giving a whole hour to just...
No. I want to have beaten this by the time I've been playing for a whole hour. This penguin's like totally souped up his arsenal here. He's got a mech. He's serious. Shooting his buddies out of them. This level's actually pretty cool to watch, I think.
Very cinematic.
There's so much going on, yeah. The camera changes and all this stuff. You watch the tuck, which is the penguin, what it's called, a tuck. Just trying to kill you. Oh, I took a hit. Should be fine. We should be fine.
Do you normally have 3 hearts in the mine part, or is that a funky mode?
Used to have 2. Yeah, funky mode is 3 now. 2 is a little more stressful, I think. But again, I get it. It was tough. I don't even... People just didn't finish this game, I guess. They just got to World 2 and just kept dying, and that's it. And then they made this game, funky mode. Admittedly, it's nice to have a new mode in the game, because we've been playing the same thing for so long. So it's a nice, refreshing experience. Like all the leaderboards are fresh now with funky for the time attack, which is nice. So there's a bunch of new strats that we figured out, and yeah, it's a lot of fun for now. Funky mode.
And I mean, this might be something of a controversial opinion, but I'm in favor of games having easy modes to help them be more accessible.
Absolutely, I think it's a good idea to have them, to have funky mode in here in games like that in general. Again, we got a lot of new speedrunners, which is great, and a lot of people who are like, I just like doing funky mode because I can do it. I'm like, that's totally legit. Like, you do the way you want to do, you know. So funky only is actually the most competitive category right now, just because there's so many new runners who've come in and like the funky only mode, which is good. So, hey, more runners is always better. More people finding stuff, and I can recruit more people to find the out of bounds again.
Do you have like a Discord for this?
Yeah, we have a Tropical Freeze Discord, yeah. I don't know how to find it. Speedrun.com actually has a link. So if you go to speedrun.com and find the Tropical Freeze leaderboards and stuff, there's a link to the Discord in there. Yeah, and it's pretty active right now, which is good, so. And yeah, we have tons of resources and lots of years of work on this game, so. Lots of things you can do. Everyone's super cool in the community. Everyone. I don't know a single person's not cool.
Oh, nice.
There aren't any like duds, you know. So 5-3 plays out almost identical to Cranky. There aren't too many different things we're doing. Doing some double jumps here and there. Wow. Speak too soon. Take some hits.
That's intentional.
Yeah. What? Platform totally denied me there. Okay. Oh my god. That thing behind me is a one-hit kill as well, so I don't want to touch that.
Oh my god, that looks so scary.
I know, it looks crazy. It's not. Don't worry, it's super easy. Yeah, there are a lot of things, though, in this game that look terrifying, I think. And that look really dangerous and, like, good strats. I could play it all up. Be like, I need to make this jump! Oh, I made it! Holy cow! And just make this, like, the most exciting possible run. Yeah. This is only 3 frames at a 60 FPS game. Play it all up. But, nah. It takes too much work.
Yeah, we chill, we grooving.
Yeah, we're funky. It's whatever, it's chill. Everything's good. The world splits here into 2 different levels. The level we're doing is nice and fast and fun. And the level we don't do is all jelly, and the jelly is just slow, and you bounce really slowly on the jelly. And it's like twice as long, so there's no way you want to do Jelly Jamboree. So we take a secret exit at the end of this level. This level's pretty cool, actually. Get out of here. Holy moly. That guy's in my way. Oh, I might die. I gotta take this heart refill. Okay, let's take this little inch of a platform here without bopping on the guy. That was good. That allows us to roll, obviously. Oh yeah, and Funky's rolling on water is just him surfing on water, which is super cool.
Radical.
Yeah. All these cycles are great, as long as we're going forward. Steal this guy's bomb. a split second. If you don't wait a split second, you bounce off that thing and die. So that's pretty bad. Alright, this underwater section is a little scary because there's a lot of these prickly things. And Funky's harder to control. But luckily, he's good. Again, he can swim through currents just like Dixie could. So he's actually a little bit faster through here than everyone except Diddy. No one's as fast as Diddy underwater. Even though that's all he has going for him. His hover is strictly worse than Dixie's. And he can't pogo. So in the original run, you pretty much never use Diddy for anything except underwater. He's very good. So here's a secret exit that you need someone who can get through currents to get into. Luckily, we always have Funky. You can't lose Funky. Alright. Smooth, smooth. I love the fur in this game, too. It's like so furry. There's so much detail. It's just, you just want to like touch it.
No, I get you. I get you.
Oh my god. Every time the level ends, you just stand there and like, oh my god, Funky.
Luscious and soft.
So yeah, it looks so soft, like really shampooed, like nicely.
He takes good care of himself.
You'd have to.
It's all the natural juices good for your skin.
Exactly. Yeah. This level's also global cycles. Everything in this level is global cycles. So we're gonna be kind of like doing some stopping and going right here. Set that up. We're gonna wait for these. So a lot of this is setting up for two specific sections. The first is when we're gonna shoot out of a barrel here. Earliest possible moment is the best. This sets these up so you don't get killed on these things. And it'll set up this big drop coming up where we don't get crushed by these and land on that. Okay.
Nice.
So that worked out. That was a good start. And then just gonna wait for that. So everything here is oops. Everything here is global. And that even down to the position of the owl in the background here that we're gonna get to. There's a little bit on the right side. Yeah, if he was farther to the right, if I hadn't got hit there, I would have been able to bounce off him and hit the end barrel. So that's the ultimate goal. But it works pretty well. Most of the level is good. But not too bad. We're actually almost done World 5 now, which was quick. We've got... this level has a lot of momentum in it. So it's all ice physics, and then things that push you. So things that push you plus ice means you just fly. And as you jump and keep your momentum, you can, you can just clear gaps and just go super fast. So we're gonna try to get it. It's kind of tough sometimes, but we'll see how we do. These things push you up. This thing gives us some push here. That's a little bit of momentum. Hopefully you don't miss the barrel or you overshoot to the point where you can't recover. Secret there. Okay. This thingy here will give us a push. I'm gonna try and carry this as far as we can. Oh, I hit the wall. Some of you can carry it in here and then you just get a ton of speed. Take an intentional hit. Some speed there. I'm gonna carry. Yeah, that was pretty good. So in general, I went mostly faster than intended there.
I'd say you finished that level pretty adequately.
That was adequate. I think that was adequate. That was a standard, like, one mistake in there. Finish the level still. Again, you have so much leeway with Funky, though. Especially, like, even saving yourself from catastrophic mistakes. Your double jump is so good for that. Alright, 5 boss. Probably the longest boss in the game, but the funniest, I think. So the lore here is really important. So you come down here, and you find this barrel, and you go in the barrel, and you get shot into this, like, purple arena. And he's got a popsicle. And what happens is, you land on the platform, and he drops his popsicle in the water, and he's angry at you. Or drops it in the juice. So you, like, ruined his day. So now he just wants to kill you.
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable reason.
I think it's reasonable. Yeah. I'd be upset.
Yeah, like, have you ever spent like a whole bunch of time like making dinner or something, and then you just immediately drop it all on the floor?
Yeah. I feel like I've done that before.
That happened to me once, and I literally cried. I literally spent like 30 seconds in my kitchen crying.
That's terrible. I can see that, and especially if someone else does it to you. I would. That's it. I'm pissed. So as you knock him in the water too, he gets more and more purple from the juice. I always like to find that a funny little little detail they threw in. He's also really fuzzy. Yeah, the RNG also used to be really bad in this boss too. It's so great now. Everything's set up well. Mainly the RNG was in, if you saw earlier, he dropped some ice blocks and they had a bomb in them at one point. And it depended where he drops the bomb, how long it would take him to drop a bomb. It was just awful. Also, he used to jump like multiple times. Sometimes it'd be 2 jumps, sometimes it'd be 3 jumps, so you have to wait. Now it's just consistently 2 jumps, like that, which is good. Now he comes back to the spot. Also pop on his hammer here. He's taunting a little bit.
Get that DM.
Ah, he got me.
Bad manners.
Yeah, exactly. So I have so many hearts that I don't know. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Gotta lose him somehow.
Gotta lose him somehow, like this. Ah.
Those piranhas?
Yeah. He's also falling in the water with the piranha. The piranhas ate his popsicle.
He can't even get it back.
He can't get it back at all. This is always a cool part. I like this part. He just, yeah.
Golf without limits.
Oh, the fake out. Oh. That actually used to be random. In all the 5, you never know which one was the fake out. Not that it matters much, but now it's always the 4th one. I was like, oh, I kind of like that it was like a game. I mean, you play for the first time, you have no idea what's coming, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
When you played like 300 runs in this game, it's like.
Give that guy a slap.
Give him a good slap. I don't care about your popsicle.
I like the Team Rocket. The little shine.
Ding, the little sparkle in the back. All right, World 6. This is it, the last world. A good chunk of the levels are pretty short in World 6, but there are a lot of them. So, like, the first 2 are like pretty short.
Is this Kong Island?
This is Kong Island. We finally made it back, and it's frozen over.
Oh my god.
So now we're gonna have to clean house here. What's cool about this is it's a sequel technically to DKC Returns for the Wii, and in that game you go through each world on DK Island. So every level in this game is actually in this world is themed off of. Uh-oh, what am I doing? Ah,
No, not spikes.
I'm the glue. Call it the glue. Whoops. That's not intended, so it's kind of tough to make sometimes. We'll try it again. So every level is based off a world in DKC Returns. So this is based on World 1 of Returns. Just like the Congo jungle. There we go, that's better. There we go. All right, nice. Normally gotta wait for that platform, but it's slow. Get some momentum off this, hopefully. Yeah, something. That's fine. Intended, kinda. Expected.
Hard reads.
Yep. This looks scary. Oh my god, this is a 1 frame trick! What am I doing? Oh wow, I got it. 1 frame. Amazing.
1 frame. Oh my
One
god.
pixel. There was 1 pixel. Nah, that's the easiest jump in the game, honestly. It's so straightforward. roll off, jump at any point you want in that fall, and you'll still land on that guy. Just the way the distance works. Alright, 6-2 is a little bit trickier. 6-1 used to be really hard, but it's so easy with Funky now, which is nice. And it's faster, so you just do it. 6-2, there's a lot of unintended distance jumps here. There's a whole thing you're supposed to pull there that I don't do. Here we're supposed to pull up these boats so they get above the water. The water's actually like deadly in this level. It hurts you. Skipping all these vines. Let's see who likes vines. Brief pause. That sets up these fire owls. 1, 2. Potential hit. Boost us all the way up here. So we're skipping having to pull up this big boat that takes forever. And the rest is just bouncing. Or taking a hit, unintentional. Almost perfect.
Almost. So close.
So close. All the things I wanted to go right went right, so that was good. Yeah, that level's pretty tricky, but I've done it so much, so it doesn't feel that bad anymore. 6-3 is based on the Ruins level, or the Ruins world in Returns. There's actually a background object of like an old school 8-bit DK holding up a, in the Wii version, or in Wii Returns, he was holding up a Wiimote. In the Wii U, he was holding up a Wii U gamepad. And in this one, he's not holding a Switch for some reason. He's still holding the Wii U gamepad. Everyone's like, shouldn't he have been holding the Switch? He just never fixed that. He's coming up in a bit. He's in the background. Like outside background. Okay. I'm trying to remember what to do here. This is not what I'm supposed to do, so. He's around here somewhere, that DK. I think. Oh, he's near the end, actually, yeah. Doing a little skip coming up here. We don't have to climb this whole thing, we can just go. Alright, we made it. Nice. There he is.
Was that also one frame?
Yes, that actually is a little bit close. Legitimately, you have to get a full jump and then a full double jump and then hover just barely. So, oh yeah, Funky also has a hover. I haven't really used it much because it's really bad. It kills all your momentum and you go super slow. So you can do it if you hold A after you double jump. You can kind of hover down very slowly. But yeah, we try to avoid that at all costs because it's just horrible, horribly momentum killing. So. And yeah, to be able to go through the whole level just smooth that's the goal of every level. So this is the last auto-scroller, finally. We're almost done with auto-scrollers. The World 6 auto-scroller. Where am I going?
Gotta show off that voice line one more time.
Yeah, exactly. That was the reason I did it, yeah. Not because I double jumped instead of mashed A. So this one's a little bit scary because stuff falls and it looks a little terrifying, but I get the Kong letters here. Might as well get something. It is legitimately challenging, I think. We don't know, yeah. Also, there are no hearts in here, so if day hits, it's bad. And there's only one checkpoint halfway through, and it's like a pretty long auto-scroller. So it's punishing as well as being hard. Which is the way you gotta do it. And obviously in DKC Returns, this World 4 is the autoscroller world, so they had to make this level the autoscroller. You get the minecart tracks in the back, and big purple dude from Returns as well.
I like him.
You ever played that? Yeah. Why not? What else do I have to do here? also. Yeah, this is another one we skip. We actually go to the checkpoint in Death Abuse category. We go to the checkpoint and then die 8 times from there, and it's still faster. Because there's nowhere really to die at the beginning of the level, so we have to kind of improv. Taking damage to die is too slow, so. Yeah, I got the Kong letters.
Can't wait to play that Kong bonus level.
I know, the secret level. I should do 100% one time, where you do all the super hard levels.
How long is that category?
It's about 2.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
It's really not bad. The only 100% thing it actually tracks is levels completed. It's pretty much the only thing that tracks your percentage in this game. But you unlock the secret levels by getting the Kong letters. So really it's just get the Kong letters, do the hard secret levels, do the final secret world. That's it. So you're not adding too many levels. But it's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in 100%. You have to reroute all the levels to get the letters. And a lot of them are really smooth, which is good. Doesn't take that much time. Okay, 6-5 has some crazy momentum that I've only learned just recently, so we'll have to hopefully not screw it up.
I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you. There are there are 2 main boosts, and then there's a 3rd boost later, but maybe we'll try it. We'll see how I feel. So the boosts are good because you can carry your speed, and Funky can double jump and jump on snowflakes and keep his speed as well. So that's really good too. So the first one, they're all off these springy platforms here. We get tons of speed. Roll, double jump. This platform, so that was good. Good first boost.
That looks so sick.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. Yeah, you skip everything, which is great. There's a small boost there, but I've kept dying recently to it, so I'm not gonna try it. Whoops. Skip vines. Save a fraction of a second there. We're gonna wait a second. Alright, let's try and get boosts off this enemy here. Nope, did not work. Okay, I got on the platform, that's good. Okay, so the way you do that is you boost off the guy, bounce off the owl, and land in that barrel without that platform, so. Oh well. We'll try the 3rd boost too, why the hell not? Don't have to wait for this wheel anymore because we're funky. Oh, come on. Should I try to reset this? Yeah, let's try it again. So this resets the enemy cycle. No, it doesn't, apparently. Well, screw that. Boost over. I have 1 heart also.
Oh my god.
How did I get down to 1 heart on Funky? That's unbelievable.
Well, if only there were a funky barrel nearby. Oh wow, what do you know about that?
What do you know? Alright. Well, we got 1 boost, which is good. Good enough. The 2nd boost is cool, but it doesn't always work. It's a little bit more finicky. The first one's pretty simple, which is nice.
I mean, it looked super sick.
And it looks
so.
cool. Yeah, you skip everything and go really fast, so that's always fun in speedrunning. So there's only 3 regular levels left, and then we have the final boss. So this is a cool level. It's a silhouette level, which looks really cool, I think. And some of the Kong aspects are highlighted on the Kongs. DK's tie would be highlighted red, and Dixie's hat and hair. Funky's got the bandana and the shirt. Kind of set that up a little bit, just so I could get a perfect bounce off. Some of this stuff is pretty tricky in this level. No. Blasting out of the barrel is, of course, the same button as jump and double jump. So if you're just not in the barrel, you just jump. I got excited there. There we go.
First try.
First try. See, I'm already here. How great is that? All these platforms also break and fall away, so you gotta be a little bit careful. funky. So chatty. Yeah.
It's like Link.
Yeah, yeah.
This truly is a Zelda game.
I told you. This climb is a little bit awkward. Okay. Here we have to go around the whole wheel or we'll just fall off. The barrel at the end of that whole loop is just sitting there, so. So you don't even have to do the loop. The barrel is just always there. Which is nice. Easy. That one's actually really easy. You can just walk off. And you're always in. Alright, 6-7. Based on the mechanical world in Returns. We're almost up the island, guys. We almost made DK Island great again. Yeah, this level used to be pretty good, pretty easy with Dixie. It's actually got a lot harder with Funky now, only because the timing is really off. So there's a lot of platforms that kind of generate electricity depending on where they are on the screen. You'll see. So you don't want to touch them when they're shocking. Oh my god, come on. Stop. Land, jump.
Nice.
I did it, guys. I jumped. Fine. 5 hearts. Don't get shots. It's okay, double jump. It's fine, damage boost. It's fine. It's fine.
This is fine.
This is intentional. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. 1 heart, we're fine. We're almost done. Not gonna hit me. Yay.
That icicle got really close.
That one always looks close. But I don't even know if that icicle has a hitbox. Never gotten hit by it. I did have to wait at the end or else I actually would have got shocked. So I can't afford to die here.
This might be a controversial opinion, but I think dying is bad.
I agree. It's not the category we're doing here. And this is the last regular level in the game, and it's a Rambi level. But Rambi's actually pretty good here, so we're gonna try really hard to keep him the whole time. There are a lot of places in this level where you can't progress unless you have Rambi. We're in a volcano. This is, surprisingly, the volcano world in Returns. It's also icy, which is really strange. Ice that hasn't melted.
It's like, yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, it's just whatever. It's what it is. Yeah, there are also a lot of platforms you have to wait for here, which is kind of frustrating. But it's not terrible. You can go pretty early, just to try and save some time. Frames sometimes.
Every frame counts.
Yep.
Have we started 60 frames yet? We're near the end.
Almost.
Nice. Nice.
Come on. There we go. Alright, that was good. The double jump helps there to weave through that section. Okay. There are a lot of checkpoints here too, which is nice. So if you do actually lose Rambi somehow, you're okay. Go Rambi, yeah. Okay.
This reminds me of Rayman Legends for some reason.
It does for me too, actually, now that you say that, yeah. That is also a great game.
Yeah.
And a fun speedrun. I've never really run it seriously, but I love it casually.
I tried to 100% that game when I was in high school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it took a really long time. I never finished.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, yeah. Spike runs that too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's into Ramby.
No more Randy.
No more Ramby. He disappeared into the void. Alright, so Frederick is the final boss.
Yo, Frederick.
Frederick. That's his name, Frederick.
Does he go by Fred?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
Alright.
I'm gonna say no. 3 hits, 3 phases. These hits are difficult, not gonna lie. And missing them costs a lot of time. So hopefully we're just gonna go 9 for 9 and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. Easy.
Easy. I mean, I didn't do it yesterday, but we're fine. With Cranky, it used to be a lot easier. I was just used to the way the timing worked. Cranky's pogo like extends his hitbox down a little bit, but Funky doesn't, so you just have to get a bomb. And it wastes too much time switching Kongs, whereas you might as well just learn the Funky. So first we got to get him out of here, get him onto my turf. One, 2. So the hard part comes in phases 2 and 3 when he runs faster and more like sporadically. So that was the first phase. I made 3 hits, which is a good start. With every missed hit, you don't even get a chance to re-hit him in that phase. He just has to go through his whole phase again. So it's pretty punishing.
We've thrown him off his rhythm now. He doesn't stand a chance.
Exactly. Oh yeah. No, we're good now. We are good. Of course, he has to give us ice physics as well.
Yeah.
You know, gotta do it. Gotta make it tough.
I like that he puts ice on the platforms using like giant bird skeletons.
Some dragons or something. Yeah, ice dragons. Yeah, you can't just freeze it. You know,
That's way too easy.
he's got to do. Well, at the beginning of the first cutscene that we skipped, the opening cutscene, he comes in his boat of like, and he shoots giant ice dragons to freeze the island. So
Oh my god, I love it.
yeah. 2. Okay, that's 6 for 6. That's a lot better than yesterday, which is good. Okay, last run I missed that one. But I have setups kind of where to stand on the platforms and stuff. I'm gonna hang out up here for a while. This is Funky's like slow fall ability. Okay, that's enough of that.
No more, no more.
No more. We gotta get serious here. Frame perfect. So in the third phase, if you miss a hit, it's not as punishing, only because he doesn't go back to the background. He just shoots ice dragons straight at you from the side. It's still slow, it's like 30 seconds slower, but at least it's less forgiving, or less punishing, sorry, than the first 2 phases, which are insane if you miss a hit. Nope. Yeah, I got him.
Nice.
Barely. That
Just
reminds
right
me
on
of...
the ankle. Wrist.
Yeah, right on the wrist. Okay. Dang it. Okay, alright, I see how it is. That's fine. That's fine. It's not easy, I don't think.
Yeah.
If you're not in the right position, you don't get the right jump, you're screwed. Here too, he doesn't actually re-ice the ground either, so it's a little bit easier from this point on. He's angry. I'm just going to shoot ice dragons at you. Okay, one more. All right, time. Sorry. Did I get it? All right, good enough. Good enough.
Good enough.
Time is actually when you slap him, so it's fine. It worked out. And that's it. That's Tropical Freeze. That's Switch version Tropical Freeze, funky mode. Yeah, my Twitch is up there. Join the community if you want to run this game. It's great. It's a lot of fun. We do races like every so often. Every couple weeks we try to throw together some races. So, yeah. Thanks for commentating. Thanks for hanging out.
It was a joy and a pleasure.
It's fun. That's it. DK wins. They didn't even add Funky to the last cutscene here.
Oh my god.
I don't know why. It seems terrible, but they didn't. That's it.